It's a great day to live in the Northland. I'm Bailey Warfield, and that's what The Lift is all about. Happy Friday! We have had a very fun week here on The Lift, but we're not done yet. Today we'll meet an author, talk winter camping, and mix up a seasonal cocktail. And every good party starts with a chat in the kitchen. So that is where we are. These two are big Dua Lipa fans, if you didn't know. Why do you like her so much?
She's great. She's got great music. My favorite album of hers is Future Nostalgia. And she's got great songs.
It's true. Yeah. She's a great role model for people like myself. I'm just a big fan of hers.
Wow.
Rising star, rising pop star.
Yes, I once changed my Instagram. This is a true story, by the way. It was Spenny Lipa for like 6.5 months.
Oh my
There you
gosh.
go.
This is some deep stuff here. So she recently posted a TikTok about one of her favorite things to drink. So you start with a Diet Coke, and we'll let Dua Lipa take it from here.
And then pickle juice. Then a couple pickles from my hand. Okay. And then some jalapeno sauce.
So we're doing it.
Uh-huh.
We are trying this combination of Diet Coke, pickle juice with, she said you have to put a spear in it or a little bit of pickle
Right.
and some jalapeno.
A little garnish.
Jalapeno sauce. I think
Jalapeno
she said.
sauce.
I will be serving it up here.
You'll be serving it up for us.
Here we
Thank
go.
you.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness. That can be yours.
Why?
You got 95%
I'm not really good at pouring pop. Can you help me?
I'm not sure it was the user, to be honest with you. I think it's probably just because we carried it up from the fridge downstairs.
Thank you.
It'll
we go.
settle.
There we
It'll
go.
settle.
Yeah.
This isn't from a what do you call it? A gun, you know, like in restaurants and stuff.
Yeah.
It's probably.
Well,
better.
you know,
This
Spencer,
is just fresh.
the hardest part is going to be getting the pickle juice in there.
All right. Well, you start making that.
Spencer, cup please.
Oh, thank you.
None of us have tried this.
So happy
here.
I
You
get
need
to
a
go
little
first.
more Diet
Oh,
Coke.
yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you. Yes.
There you go.
Okay. We're using makeshift. Ooh.
And this won't be a problem for you because you love
I
pickles.
love
love
pickles.
pickles.
I love
I'm
pickles.
gonna pickle in there.
Okay, hold on. I gotta get everyone
Right,
else's
Okay,
juice
so
in
you're
there. Another
adding
one.
some pickle
Okay, that's-
juice.
You know, and
lot.
I'm guesstimating, everybody.
Yeah,
I'm
that was a lot.
guesstimating. So,
I've never heard
Billy.
of or tried anything
and then
like
pickle.
this.
Pick a pickle.
Take a pickle. Okay.
Now the
Oh,
final
garnish.
ingredient, Spencer, is that
Gorgeous.
jalapeno juice, and
Thank
I'm not
you.
sure if you can handle the spice.
Okay, we'll go light on this, right? This is gonna go like down. my
Are you
arm,
gonna
I think.
use a?
There we go.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
Not bad, not bad.
Okay,
Thank
that
you.
one went all over the table.
Well,
Here.
Oh, that's
How's
smart.
that?
What a technique.
And then are we throwing it's all over the table.
All right, that's okay. Okay.
I'm gonna put one in
Mix
mine.
it. Are you gonna mix it up a little?
I don't know. I
Kind of
can't get
shake
this-
it.
All right.
Okay.
I don't.
Ready?
I have no idea
Cheers to
Cheers.
Dua Lipa.
what this is gonna be like.
Oh yeah, you know what I need?
Oh,
I
it's
need
actually
more.
kind of good.
No, first taste is very weird.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I happen to like
In
it a
my
lot.
opinion.
I'm stirring her up a little bit. I needed a little more juice.
Oh. I'm a fan. I don't think I would do this on my
It's
own
not as
time.
bad as
my
I thought it
gosh.
was gonna be. It's really
this
not.
is good. This is good. It's very similar. If you have ever tried it, the pickle lemonade, it's close.
You think it's close to that?
Yeah.
It's good. I don't think I'd go out of my way at a restaurant to be
No.
like, hey, can you give me a few pickles and also jalapeno sauce?
Yeah.
So Dua Lipa, if you are watching, you
Please.
need to come to Minnesota and try the pickle lemonade because if she likes this, she's gonna go
she will.
wild.
Yeah,
She
this
will
is
like
delicious.
All right. Well, cheers.
Or for us, I guess.
Keep an eye out for these three tomorrow at Boo at the Zoo. WDIO will have a spooky booth for handing out candy. Some of us will be there in the flesh, others in 2D. It's the last of 3 Halloween weekends at Lake Superior Zoo. It goes from 10 to 4 tomorrow with food trucks and family activities and candy, of course. Tickets are $18 at the door, cheaper if you are a member or you get them ahead of time. For a 53rd year, Team Duluth is hosting a ski and snowboard swap. Here is a live look for you. Holy moly, look at all that gear. Day one opens in just 25 minutes. It's at Spirit Mountain's Grand Avenue Chalet. A portion of the sales of the used gear at the swap goes to Team Duluth. That's a nonprofit that coaches kids between 5 and 18 in alpine race, freestyle, and snowboarding, and just general personal development. The swap runs through Sunday if you want to gear up for winter. It sure looks like they have some options. Well, coming up, sleepover in the studio. Just kidding. But we will tell you what this tent is doing in here. See you in 2 minutes. Well, how about this? We are camping out in the studio today. Joe and Em from Paddle and Portage are on their way to a winter camping symposium near Moose Lake, so welcome.
Good to see you, Bailey.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming. All right, you gotta tell me about this tent because it's rare we have such a big prop in the studio here.
It's quite large. It's a canvas wall tent made of
Yeah.
Egyptian cotton. It's made by a company called Snow Trekker
Okay.
out of Wisconsin. And it's our choice for our accommodations that we're taking to the Winter Camping Symposium.
So why do you like something like this for winter camping?
Well, I think it's ideal if you're not doing a lot of traveling.
Okay.
So if you're kind of going into the wilderness and base camping, you're kind of bringing a little cabin in the woods
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah.
And if you can handle lugging it in, it's actually not too heavy. And you kind of have a cabin on the lake in the middle of winter, wherever you want to go.
So fun. It didn't take too long to set up either, even though you can't stake anything into the ground in here.
Right, and we have a
Of
wood
course.
stove that we put inside there too, so it gets
Nice.
warmth inside. That's why it's called a hot tent.
It sounds cozy.
It's fantastic. We've been in this in 30 below, extreme winds, and have been mostly cozy in there.
So what else is happening at the symposium this weekend?
Well, there's workshops, skill shares, speakers, and I'd say the primary function is for folks to come together and winter camp together and
Okay.
be together and learn from each other and feel inspired.
Super fun. You're going to be with a whole bunch of these, it sounds like. this
We'll send you
weekend.
a photo
Or
of it,
similar
yeah.
ones. Yeah, I want to
Absolutely.
see. So you two host the Paddle and Portage podcast together, all about the BWCA and all things northeastern Minnesota. A couple more people just joined the team, Joe. Tell me about this development for you.
Right, it's huge news. So just this week we announced that Bear Paulson, who is the manager, longtime manager of North Star Canoes here in Minnesota, and then Ann Passes, who lives in Grand Marais and has been involved with media up and down the shore and across Minnesota for many years. They're the new partners involved with Paddle and Portage, so it's a huge thing for us. We're just beyond excited about that, to bring their expertise and their connections and their love of the Boundary Waters too, which is a huge thing.
Absolutely. And Paddle and Portage, I think you started in January, is that
Right.
right? So you're not even a year in.
We're getting up to that year milestone. It's been so much fun to do the podcast, which we had been doing for a while before, and moved it to Paddle and Portage.
Okay.
And then starting the journalism and the online storytelling too. So it's just been exceeding our expectations.
I'm really excited to add these new team members then.
Oh, it's huge.
Bring
yeah.
some more expertise to the pod.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and just the business side of things too, because we're doing a lot of the content creation, the stories, the interviews, and so forth. So having Ann's support with copy editing and connections, and then Bear knows everything about canoeing in the Boundary Waters and across North America. So it's a great team.
Yeah. So, Em, what kind of information can people find through Paddle and Portage?
It's a lot, but primarily I'd put it into two categories. One is storytelling from the wilderness both locally in our backyard, the Boundary Waters in Quetico, but also across the country, across the North American continent, from far north paddle trips to down to Florida and even into the desert Southwest.
Yeah.
So stories about paddling and the way it changes people's lives being in wilderness spaces. And then a lot of news and information that's important in regards to wilderness protection, wilderness management. Those are probably the bulk of the stories that you find at Paddle and Portage.
Wow, fantastic. I'm sure a lot of people find value in that, definitely.
Right.
Well, thank you both. Have so much fun this weekend. Stay warm. I'm sure you will.
Yes. we'll send you a photo, like I said, Bailey, of all these tents set up that
I
are going to
can't
be just
wait.
like this, and they'll have the smoke coming out from the stovepipes and everything too. So
Cozy as can be.
Yeah.
Super fun. Well, still ahead, meet the author of a small town story that'll make you laugh and maybe reflect just a little of your own Midwestern experience. Can we interest you in a regional read? Ennui Days is a satire set on the plains of Minnesota, telling the story of a small community that has seen better days. A woman returns home from New York and ends up trying to save it. Author Bill Burleson is doing a book signing tomorrow at the bookstore at Fitger's, but we get to meet him ahead of time, all the way from Minneapolis. Bill, welcome.
Thank you, Bailey.
I am so excited to hear about this story because when I was reading that intro, I felt like I was reading the trailer to a horrible holiday romance or something. But I'm sure this is much better. So congratulations on the book.
Thank you. Yeah, the Coen Brothers film sort of meets Carl Hiaasen. I don't know. Yeah.
It sounds like fun. So will you tell us a little bit about the plot and the problems that this small Midwestern town is facing?
Sure. Ennui is this nice little town. Used to be a nice little town out in the western plains of Minnesota.
Okay.
It's seen better days. It used to be a regional center. Now the 200 souls left in town are mostly elderly people. There's no commerce left on the main street. There's a lake that glows in the dark and a wind turbine that hits cars into the rough if they get too close. And a factory hog farm on top of the hill that makes the place smell like pig stuff all day long.
Lovely. It sounds idyllic. So tell us about the main character, Sybil.
Sybil, so she's like every small town, or most small town girls, I shouldn't say every,
Sure.
but most small town girls. As soon as she became of age, she got the heck out of there and moved to New York City
was
and
gone.
had a happy life.
Yeah.
And she was living the dream, but then her father became ill, and then her mother passed away, and being the daughter, it falls on her shoulders to take care of him now, as opposed to her good-for-nothing brothers, but there you have it.
Yeah.
And so she has to move home, but she's gonna make the best of it.
Yeah.
So she became mayor, and she runs an antique store, and by golly, she's gonna succeed somehow.
That is amazing. And I'm seeing some Vote for Sybil merch online and on your head. Could this be a timely election read for us?
It is absolutely. I like to say make Minnesota laugh again is my motto.
Oh, there you go.
Absolutely. She runs her county board. That's going to be her solution to solve the problems of the town. She's going to save ennui from all these people who want to tear it down. And so she runs her county board. I would like to, spoiler alert, it doesn't work out always that well. As she tries something new and tries something again. So,
Imagine
but she
that.
says, stick to it, this.
I love it. So it's a fictional town, obviously, in kind of a silly setting, it sounds like. But why are small towns and these communities? Why is it important to tell those stories?
I worked in Greater Minnesota a lot in my days,
Yeah.
and there's so many just people with heart. I mean, people are working really hard, but
Yes.
but they're so whipsawed. Small towns are so whipsawed by various forces that they can't control, and so many of them are suffering so mightily. But they try so hard. So this is really I dedicated the book to everybody I know who worked on small towns because they're wonderful places, they're communities, they should do well. I gotta say they are doing better, and many small towns are.
Right.
Since I started writing this book, but there's a lot of small towns that are doing well, but there's still a lot of small towns that aren't, and depends on whether or not there's what the big box retailers are on the highway and
Right.
things like forces like that out of their control.
Yeah. So you'll be at Fitger's tomorrow from 4 to 6?
4 to 6,
To do
yes.
some book signings?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Very fun.
Well, it'll be a blast. Well, thank you so much for coming. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you for having me.
Duluthians, we love our books, so I'm sure people will be out there. We appreciate it. Well, coming up, a seasonal beverage from a coming soon cocktail bar. Altitude Cocktails is in the works, but in the meantime, Alex will show us how to mix one up at home. There will soon be a new spot for handcrafted cocktails in Duluth. Altitude Cocktails has been in the works for many months, and Alex is joining us now to do a little mixing. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
First, tell us where and what Altitude Cocktails will be.
So Altitude is going to live inside of Zenith Base Camp. Zenith Base Camp is going to be a hostel, retail store, and then also a cocktail lounge, and that's going to be on the corner of 27th West and Superior Street. So great company. We think it's a great neighborhood, great location.
Lincoln Park area.
Lincoln Park area.
Yeah.
Building's extremely old, and because of its age, we had to get it to the proper spot to be ready for lodging and for drinks. So,
Right.
yeah.
It takes a lot of work, but hopefully soon.
Hopefully
in the
soon.
next
Yep.
few months, we'll see what happens. So, what are you mixing up for us today?
So we're gonna make a drink called the Solstice, and this was made for a winter solstice party.
Oh, I love it.
So a great fall or winter drink. It's approachable, but it's bold. And I wanted it to be something where it's definitely gonna be something new flavors, smokiness, some bittersweet Italian orange liqueur, some sweetness, some citrus, and some mole bitters. So
Really fun. All right, so
Let's
where do
make
we
it.
start? Do we start with the mezcal?
we're gonna start with the mezcal. So
Okay.
mezcal, basically tequila.
Yeah.
And there's a few different ways to process it, but one of my favorite ones is they throw it in a pit, light it on fire, and so it's going to take in some of that smoke.
That smokiness.
Yeah, so you're getting that great agave flavor,
Yeah, totally.
but you're getting some of that smoke. And this particular one, Del Maguey Vita, just kind of a mild smoke,
Okay.
not too overpowering.
Okay.
Yep, in this particular drink, we're doing 1.5 ounces.
Okay, got it.
From there, we're going to go into Aperol. Pretty popular liqueur now, right?
It is, yes.
Bittersweet Italian liqueur.
Kind of
popularized-
herbal?
Yeah,
too?
herbal.
Herbal flavor?
Orangey, maybe.
Orangey, okay.
But popularized by the Aperol Spritz.
Yeah.
So I think just about everyone can find this now.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's also one of my favorite drinks of all time. But we're just doing 3/4 ounce there.
Okay.
And then we're going to move on to a little bit of citrus. So we have fresh squeezed lemon juice, and very important that it's fresh squeezed.
Yeah.
So squeeze it right before the show.
Okay.
That way you're getting the oils from the citrus peel. You're getting the brightness from that fresh citrus.
Oh, fantastic.
Same thing, we're going to do 3/4 ounces.
So don't skimp and use the store-bought.
You can, but you're going to miss out on a lot of flavor.
Okay, but
Yeah.
this is just better.
And it's just a little extra work, right?
Sure, yeah.
It's not too bad.
No.
And then here we have a Demerara syrup. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. It'd be very similar to like a brown sugar syrup.
Okay.
So it's got some molasses notes. Demerara is just a little more clean.
Okay.
So we're going to use that
Very
as our
interesting.
sweet. Plays really well with the mezcal here.
Is that something you could make yourself?
Yeah, so if you're going to make this at home, 2-to-1 ratio, you could do it by volume. That'd probably be easiest. So
Sure.
let's say 1 cup of brown sugar and then half cup of water.
Okay.
And you could just boil it, dissolve it, and it comes together pretty well.
Yeah.
And then we have some bitters, and bitters are really like the spice of drinks. And so we have a mole bitters here. It's got some chocolate notes, some spice notes.
Wow.
You can find these now pretty much everywhere. And measurement-wise, I'm just going to go for quite a bit.
Okay.
If you're going to use like a traditional
Proper.
Angostura bitters instead, it's a little bit
Yeah.
easier to find. I'd probably go 4 dashes
Okay.
of Angostura.
There you go.
From there, I'm just going to shake it up.
All right.
Shaking very important. We're going to chill it, dilute it, and aerate it.
Okay.
So we're going to be getting some foam.
Yeah.
And real aggressive shake.
It's always just fun to watch that when it happens in a bar.
Hopefully the mic was okay with that.
That's all right.
And yeah, and so I'm shaking until I can feel some frost on here. Very cold.
Okay.
And then this is a Boston shaker, so you gotta punch it sometimes, get it to open. And then we've got a big cube here. A beautiful big cube, I think.
Big clear cube. You probably can barely even see it through the
But I think it's one
camera.
of the best things about a drink. You know?
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna-
There's something fun about it.
Double strain that. Hawthorne strainer, fine mesh strainer.
Okay.
That way we're removing
that
any
big- okay, I was
ice
gonna say.
particles. Yep.
Ice particles is what you're wanting
Seeds,
to
maybe
get
a little
out.
bit of pulp, get all that out of
Sure.
there. So it's just a
Look
nice,
at the color of that.
it's a beautiful drink. And then the fun part,
Fantastic. Yeah.
we're gonna make some fire. I'll let you do
Time
the
for
honors.
fire. All right.
Should I hold it and put a lot of trust here?
Oh man. Okay. Sure.
All right, so
Sure.
you're gonna
We just met. It'll be fine.
you're gonna toast this, char it, and hopefully not burn me. And
Okay.
you can be pretty aggressive on it.
Okay.
Yep. That's quite aggressive. Yep. That's
Too
good.
aggressive.
And so we're getting some smoked cinnamon, right?
Yeah.
Smoked cinnamon. We're gonna set that right on the
Right
cube.
on top.
It might fall in there. That's fine, but
Give it a little. Oh, I can smell it. Yeah.
That's
Gives
our
it a little-
solstice.
A little aroma. Okay. I'm gonna give this a try.
Give it a try.
And while I try this, will you just briefly talk through how you would make this an NA option?
yeah. So any option of this, one of the offerings we want to have at Altitude is have drinks for everyone. So if you aren't into the alcohol content, we have some products right over here. I split a base for instead of the mezcal.
Yeah.
Using a lapsang black tea, and that's a smoky tea, double strength. So I seeped it, double the amount you would normally make for like a cup of tea.
Yeah.
And then Free Spirits Tequila is a great tequila. It's a peppery tequila.
Okay.
I think it's one of the best zero proofs out there.
Okay, very good.
I think I got it online. Probably can find it online. And
Neat.
then Liars kind of substitutes the Aperol.
Okay.
And I would just do similar ratios of that, and you're gonna come out with a good drink. Did you like it?
I do like it. So funny story, I'm not a fan of tequila, but I like mezcal.
Okay.
I don't know what my deal is, but that's what it is. So thank you so much for coming to Make It. I'm looking forward to seeing the space sometime soon.
Sometime soon.
Sometime soon. Well, I do expect to see a lot of costumes running around town this weekend on both kids and adults probably. We'll highlight a few fun events after this. All right, it's the weekend before Halloween. Some call it Hallow-weekend. And if you're looking for something fun to do, Kenny Johnson has you covered.
Halloween celebrations have officially begun, with Lincoln Park being one of the biggest areas to check out. The fun kicks off on Saturday, with the main event being the Lincoln Park Business Group's annual Trick or Treat. Over 20 businesses will act as trick-or-treat stops, all happening from 1 to 4. You can also check out some other Halloween celebrations happening in Lincoln Park, like at Ritual Salad, the Duluth Children's Museum, Ben Paddle, and more. Looking for a good scare? Hellwig Hollow is open Saturday. We visited there last Friday, and their haunt is a hidden gem with scares inside and outside. The monsters come out at 7:30, and they're so ready to scare you. You can find Hellwig Hollow all the way up in Canyon, Minnesota. And hey, you can't go wrong with too much candy, can ya? East Ridge Community Church is hosting their annual Trunk or Treat. Join the church for a night full of trunk loads of candy, and make sure to dress up too. The Trunk or Treat has been a family favorite event for nearly 13 years. Have a very happy early Halloween, and we'll see you around town.
Man, there's so much going on this weekend.
Right before Halloween, I feel like everybody has got to get their festivities in.
All right, you got to get that first run of the costume, or maybe the second or third or dozenth.
Because now Halloween's on Thursday, so like the weekend after, it'll already, the
It'll
vibe
feel
will be
kind of
over.
So this is the exciting.
This is it.
Getting into Halloween.
Yeah. WDIO will be at Boo the Zoo. It should be nice.
Yeah.
Right, Justin? It's going to be a nice day.
It's going to be absolutely beautiful. I mean, kind of a carry on over from what we're experiencing out there today.